Good evening, everyone. It's me, Teresa Perrin. I just wanted to give you a quick update on Tough Built ticker TBLT. Guys, I think tomorrow we could see a massive move to the upside because we need to talk about the failure to delivers that are due, as well as the fact that the short interest is now over 1.5 times the entire free float. Guys, this is ready to go on absolute freaking rip, in my opinion. So let's get into it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm sure you guys all know this, but please remember that nothing I say is financial advice. I'm going to start with Fintel. So currently there are only 10,000 shares left to borrow. Now my first question is, how on earth are there any shares left to borrow when they've already oversold and short sold the entire free float by 1.5 times the entire float? It makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. Clearly, somebody does not want this to go up. And you're going to see that because they shorted it more today. That's why the price went down slightly. And it also was a lower volume day as a lot of other tickers were running. So 10,000 shares available as of 3 hours ago. And the cost to borrow, according to Fintel, is gone up significantly. Gosh, look at it. It's the devil's number, 666%. Well, you'd have to be the work of a devil to want to short this at this level, that's for sure. Now, here's where it gets juicy, in my opinion. This is a failure to delivers, and as you can see, there was this big spike at the end of June, which we're looking at right now. If you go to the T+35, that would bring us to the 28th for tomorrow is what will be due, and that is 3,234,620 shares, guys. That is an absolutely huge number. I'll go into the free float when I go over Ortex with you, but I think that you're going to be very impressed. And I think that this is why, this is my indicator of what tells me that tomorrow we should see a massive move to the upside. And if you look at all the numbers here, it's quite substantial, the amount. And remember, there's only 10,000 shares that they can borrow. There's no options on this, so they have no way of hiding it in the options pool. This is going to be a banger tomorrow, in my opinion. Now, before I get into the Ortex, I'm just going to quickly show you Market Chameleon, because as you can see, Tough Built only traded 7.1 million shares today, which seems kind of low compared to what they've been at the last few days, which is why I think that they were able to do what they did to drive the price down slightly. I mean, it really didn't go down that much, guys, overall. It wasn't huge, but still, I would have liked to have seen it gone up, especially with the situations it's in. But we all know what happened with, and continues to happen with AMC and GME. But guys, we're getting close to the numbers that GME was at when it squeezed. And this is what we were talking about when I brought Redbox to your attention when it went from 2 to 18. So I am fairly confident that we are going to see a move to the upside, and it could be extremely massive tomorrow. And just so you know, out of those 7.1 million shares that were traded, 66% of that was in the dark pool. Yes, we know illegal, well, not illegal, but should be, because they're not using the dark pool for what it's made for. And this is just absolutely disgusting. Literally every time I see it, it makes me nauseous. And over the past 20 days, though, guys, it was even more. 68% was in the dark pool. So, they cut it out slightly today, but I only think that was because the volume was down. Anyways, let's get into Ortex. Okay, guys, just briefly, before I get into the Ortex, I want to show you the free float. Currently, it's only 1.75 million shares. Do you realize how teeny tiny this is? Guys, the reason for this is because they had to do a reverse split a few months back that really made this float very, very small. And as you can see, the 52-week low was $1.34 with a 52-week high of $104.99. There are no options in this stock. There is a huge potential for this to run to like unbelievable levels, guys. I mean, literally 1.5 times the float is shorted. So I just wanted you to know that because I don't think people are really talking about it or understanding that. Now let's get into it. Okay, guys. So as you can see, the short interest has climbed from 141% yesterday all the way up to 158.21%, guys. That is huge. They've sold short 4.47 million shares. So I don't know if there's a conflict of interest with the numbers here somewhere, because if you look at that, that's more than double the float. So I'm a little bit confused as to what numbers are actually accurate. But at any rate, you can tell that the float is very, very, very small. But it could even be a lot more shares shorted than what I thought, depending on who has the correct information, which if you look at different sites, this is one of the most frustrating things. It's always a different number. So if anyone has more accurate information that's actually confirmed and they want to comment below, I'd love to see your take on it. And please tell me it has to be after the reverse split. And please let me know your source so that I can verify before telling people. But check it out. The cost to borrow minimum is 374.66%, which at this rate, I don't think anyone's getting. The max is 1,000%, and the average is 747.85%. And then just to get into what they borrowed today, they borrowed 238.4 thousand shares and only returned 23.7 thousand shares. So again, they increased that short interest because they borrowed an extra 214.7 thousand more shares than they returned. So guys, like I said, I think that we're going to see massive moves to the upside tomorrow, especially given the fact that they're really going to be doubling down on what they owe, considering that they owe 3.6 or something like that million shares, over 3 million shares tomorrow. Where are they going to get them from? This is a super small float. This is actually comical when I start thinking about it and processing it. So guys, get ready for boom boom candles tomorrow because I think you're going to get them. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous night.